The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to the Fandotech Friday 15 Mission Technical Reconnaissance. If you have any questions during the presentation, please type them into your question window. This week, our presenter, Craig Sampson, that's me, is explaining how to set up a WordPress site in just 15 minutes. You can hear that ambulance driving by behind us here, pardon the background noise. So I wanted to get started and talk about what you can do in 15 minutes setting up a WordPress site. So we'll roll right into it here. So, one of the first things that I kind of get asked is WordPress as easy as people say it is? And so I'll give you some answers. It is less technical, than if you don't need as much experience with technical stuff to do it. Although from my perspective, being an expert, everything's easy about WordPress. Maybe if you're not an expert, things will be a little harder. But anyways, less technical experience is required. And of course, there's lots of available tutorials and instructions. WordPress has a very active environment of developers and other users. So there's a lot of questions and answers out there, as well as professional tutorials. You can see other videos in YouTube about it and so forth. So lots of learning resources. Also, a wonderful thing about WordPress is that it's a flexible framework for many types of sites. You can basically create just about any site from e-commerce to your sort of plain old business card website using WordPress. And it has built-in extensibility. What that means is that you can add on features. Let's say that you start your website out without a calendar, but then down the line you want to add a visible calendar so you could show people where you're having your events. You can download plugins to WordPress to add a calendar to your site rather easily. That's one of the great features of it. Also, if you get tired of the way your site looks, it's easy to change themes. There's a large number of theme resources out there, many thousands of themes. Themes are the graphical representation of your site, what it actually looks like. That sort of look and feel can be adjusted just by adding another theme and swapping it over. And we'll see a little demo of that in a few minutes. And I want to close this slide here by just saying that it's not just for blogs anymore. When WordPress first started, it was used for blog websites. And blogs, of course, are like online diaries. And so maybe you're thinking, well, my website's not a blog. Why would I want to use WordPress? But it has been matured to the point where it's a generalized content manager now. Now, as I get into the demonstration, I want to kind of tell you what I did sort of cheating before we started today. It's kind of like a cooking show where the chef did a little preparation in advance to make things go smoother. So I downloaded WordPress from WordPress.org. You go to WordPress.org and there's a download link there, and it lets you download a zipped up file of WordPress. I basically then opened up my website's control panel, which I get that information from my host. Then I uploaded the unzipped WordPress files into the folder on my website. Then I went to my site, and as soon as you visit your brand new WordPress site where you've just uploaded the files, it runs a script which automatically does the rest of the installation for you. It creates a database behind the scenes and so forth. And so basically the automatic installer. And the total time elapsed for those steps was about 5 minutes. So I shaved off a few minutes of our talk here. So I'm going to go ahead and pop out of here and take you over to the website that it created for me when I did that. So our subject website today is the Flying Bull. I've used this before in some other demonstrations. And this is what it looks like right after the installation of WordPress. So it already looks like a website, just kind of a boring one. This is the default skin or theme or template, if you will, that comes with WordPress and what it looks like. And they give us a couple sample pieces of content, like a sample page and a Hello World article here on the home page. And to get started with this, I need to log into my website. And here on the home page, I have a little login link that will do that for me. So I'm going to put my login information in. we'll just let that load up here. Now, when you sign into your WordPress site for the first time, you're going to be given a screen like this one that basically welcomes you to your new WordPress site. And as I mentioned, there's lots of tutorials out there and the like. This one, provided right by the WordPress organization, tells you about the basic settings that you have in your website, content that you can add to it, and they kind of show you how to do some sample things, and how to go about customizing your site. Now, I suggest you explore this if you're brand new to it, and it'll help explain a lot of things. And there's also a nice first steps with WordPress that kind of tells you how to get rolling. And so basically, I'm in what they call the control panel, or actually the dashboard in this case. So it's a back-end view that only I, as the site administrator, can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dismiss the welcome screen here, as I don't need it anymore. And it tells me some other things. I've got a Right Now box here that tells me I've got a post and a page and a category in my website and a comment and so forth. So I want to kind of run through a few things here. I want to tell you how to change the way it looks, first of all. It's one of the first things you might want to do if you have a new WordPress site, is choose a new theme for it. And so over here on the control bar on the left is an appearance item. And under there is themes. And that's where we go to change the look and feel of our website. Turns out I've got a few of them installed already by default. I'm going to show you what happens when I change to this grassland theme by simply activating it. It's already installed in my website. So I'm going to activate that. Now, I won't see any real change here on the back end, because I'm in the dashboard. But I can click up here in the top left corner to go visit my website and see what it looks like now. And as you can see, it's changed in appearance quite considerably. We still have the same Hello World content and the sample page over here on the side, but it now looks very different. I'm going to click on my dashboard up here at the top of my little toolbar, and that will take me right back into the dashboard again. So you use this little black bar at the top to get in and out of your back end. And so I don't like that theme that we have. What if I want to go shopping for another theme? So out there in the world, there are two kinds of themes. There are free ones and there are paid ones. The free ones are, Grassland is an example of that, the one we just looked at. I have in here another one called the Page Lines platform. This one is a paid one. The primary advantage to paying for one is that you usually get a much more sophisticated and intricate design, something that looks more polished and professional. But I'll show you how to view some ones that are out there for free. At the top of the screen, I can manage the themes I have, or I can install themes. So I'm going to go to Install Themes, and then I have some choices to filter out possible themes, and a search box if I want to try to search for something. Let's say I was looking for something that looked like a lawn or grass, because we're talking about the flying bull who grazes on grass. So I'm going to search for grass, and I'm going to say I'm hoping for something that is either brown or green as my color choices for that. And I'm going to find themes down here. Now it will load up for me free themes that are available that match my search criteria. And basically, if I say, oh, I love this soft green one right here, all I have to do is click Install it. Now that can take a couple minutes, so I'm going to skip that now so we don't lose the time. But it's as easy as installing it. And when you do so, it will appear over here on your Manage Themes page as one of the available themes. So then all you have to do to activate it is to basically find the one that you're looking for. I'm going to activate this platform base right here. And bingo, it will load up, and then your site will look like that. It's very easy to experiment this way. You can flip back and forth as much as you like until you settle on something that appeals to you. So I'll show you what it looks like now. The site's very plain. I kind of made it that way on purpose so that we could start from something that's not too busy already. And right now it's got this page lines thing up here. I really wish it had my flying bull logo instead. So the next step of customizing it is to go to my page line settings. In this case, it's called page line settings because that's the name of the skin that I'm using. So if I go there, it has a special interface for me to customize it. Now, every skin or theme, as they call them here, has its own version of this panel in some way or another that gives you some design things. I'm going to start with my global options because that's where I will find my logo settings. And indeed, here we see the page lines logo. Instead, I'm going to upload an image from my computer. And on the desktop, I have put a folder of content in which I put my logo file here for easy access. It's going to upload that. As you see, it's working, and bingo, here comes the logo. Now, I want to talk about this fave icon, one other little customization that you can make. Depending on the browser that you're in, the fave icon is something that appears up in the toolbar. If you see where my mouse pointer is wiggling around, I'm kind of circling the little Internet Explorer logo in the tab. It's either going to appear here or here with this little logo up in the address bar. This is how you customize. You see those other websites that have custom little logos. They're actually called fave icons. They're 16 pixel square images. And all I need to do is upload my own version, which I made one that's sort of a bullhead that kind of matches my logo. And it'll replace the page line's leaf down here with our now bullhead logo. And there's a few other things. It has nice Twitter integration and Apple Touch if you're working with an iPad. Those are very specific to this skin. So I'm going to ignore that and just see what our site looks like with the new logo in place. And here it is, the flying bulb. And sometimes it can take a while before your browser will add the little icon, the fave icon I was talking about. Internet Explorer, which I'm using here, is a little slow at that. Other browsers like Chrome or Firefox tend to be zippier, and they'll put that icon up there for you. And then if you bookmark it, that little fave icon stays along with it. So you always want a little distinct image for it. Now I want to show you how we might add some content to our burgeoning websites. And there's two kinds of content in WordPress. The first are posts, and the second are pages. The difference between the two is that pages are kind of your static or more boring content. Let's call it about us, contact us, company history, mission statement, those types of things that tend to stay pretty static. You would put those on pages. Now, posts, on the other hand, are more like articles, like a news article. As things occur, you add a new post. That's kind of a blog element. But when you're using WordPress for a regular website, you could kind of use it for newsy things that are going on, or new documents you're generating for your site. The post example is this hello world. This is actually a post. On the sample page that's up here, I'm going to go visit that page. I actually have a sample page. So I'm going to show you how to add our own of each of those. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard, and I'm going to go to posts over here, and I'm going to add a new post, which is one of the options right here. And I'm going to be taken to this kind of complicated form. I'm going to call this, let's see, the latest and greatest. Just entitle it. And then conveniently, I also opened a Word document and put my article in it that's got kind of filler text. And so I'm just going to copy and paste that over into my article. I can also add a picture, a featured image to go with the article if I want to. So I'm going to set that featured image, and it's going to give me an upload item. And I'm going to select Files, and I'm going to upload my feature image, which is kind of a lawnmower on a lawn here. And it basically crunches it for me. I can title it and do some other things and save that. Basically, this step that I'm going through is starting to build my media library. In the future, I can go back and reselect this image if I want to use it again. So every time you upload an image, it goes into your media library, and it becomes available for your future use. So down here at the bottom, I clicked a little link to use it as my feature post. I'm going to save my changes and close. And we see the feature image here. So now I'm going to publish this article without regard to any of the other settings that you see on the page. Basically, very simple. You can save the draft if you're not ready to publish it, or if you're ready to publish it, go right ahead and click the Publish button. And as soon as you do that, it's going to tell us that the post was published. And I'm going to go back to my website now, the front end of it, and take a look at what I just accomplished. And here's my article with the picture that I uploaded. One more thing to do before we leave today, which is to add a page to the website. And it's going to be very similar to what we just did. So I'll go back to my dashboard, and then I'm going to go to Posts instead of Pages. I'm sorry, Pages instead of Posts. So I'm adding a page. So I'm going to choose Add New. And you know, one of the nice things about WordPress is it looks the same. Essentially, you come here, and this will be our About Us page. And again, I kind of set that up in advance. I put some content here inside my Word document. I'll just paste that in. And so there we are. There's no feature image for this. It's just a page. Although it is possible, we don't have time to go through it now, but you can upload and insert other types of media into this, such as videos, pictures, audio files, and so forth, and place them inside your article. Now I'm going to go ahead and publish this page that I just created. And we'll be able to see the difference as soon as it publishes. Okay, and there we are. And I'm going to go back to the front end of my website and see if the changes have been made. So now I have my article that I added a few minutes ago, and I've got my new About Us page automatically being added to my nav bar. It is possible for me to go in and delete the sample page and the Hello World articles that were part of the initial thing. It's very easy to do. So now I'll just visit the About Us page to kind of wrap up here. Now, so really, 15 minutes, not a lot of time to go through everything. But it is a kind of an introduction. You can really set up a site pretty easily in about 15 minutes and get your framework together. So, I want to say thank you to all of today's participants. If I didn't answer all of your questions, I'll circle back with you independently. This webinar will be available for viewing on our blog at blog.fandotech.com, on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Fandotech, and on SlideShare at slideshare.net/Fandotech. Join us next week for another Fandotech Friday 15 Tech Recon, where we'll be discussing the benefits of virtualization. Register today by visiting blog.fandotech.com and clicking on the Friday 15 logo. This has been a production of Fandotech.